issue of who owns the votes and what is the consequence of defecting from the platform on which we were elected into office to another political party. The case was not novel. The Court of Appeal found that this is not novel. That the Supreme Court looked at this same issue in Atiku's case. In that case, Atiku, who was vice president to Obasanjo in PDP, had some quarrels and disagreements with his boss. And so he resigned and defected from PDP to the then AC. And the question was, and Obasanjo got angry. He said, you can't do that. I hereby declare your seat vacant. Atiku went to the Court of Appeal, Abuja, which was the court of first instance. And he won. And the Attorney General appealed to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court made it clear that defection is not one of the reasons stipulated in the Constitution for removing a governor. A governor defecting is exercising his constitutional right under Section 40 of the Constitution, freedom of association, freedom of assembly. So the Supreme Court in Article said, the Constitution has exhaustively provided for how a governor who has taken the oath of office and oath of allegiance can be removed from office. Defection is not one of them. And that the principle in law is expressio unius, exclusio ulterior, which means the express mentioning of one thing is exclusion of others. And that if you want to know this Court of Appeal judgment, how a governor can be removed, you have to go to section 180 and 188 and 189 of the Constitution. If a governor dies in office, if he resigns by himself, if his term expires and is succeeded by his successor after 4 years, or if he's impeached by the State House of Assembly, or if he's found to be lunatic, in which case a board is set up to determine his sanity, that these are the only instances in which a governor can be removed, not for defecting. So that judgment applies on all fours the case in issue. It has to do with the votes. PDP are saying they own the votes that Ayade carried to APC. Court of Appeal found that the votes that they said Umahi carried from PDP to APC were no longer PDP votes, but they belong to the individual who won the election. The same way the Supreme Court had also found in Atiku's case. And the Supreme Court with several authorities on Bugadio's case, Ozongbachi, versus Amadi, so many cases, says votes no longer belong to a political party. It is an individual that contests elections that own votes. The political parties are merely used as vehicles to canvass for votes for an individual and amass votes for an individual. But that once the individual is sworn in, he owns the votes, not the political party. So the Supreme Court actually said it is painful, immoral, and unconscionable for an individual to leave a party that elected you and go to another, but it is not illegal. The Court of Appeal this time found that it could be immoral or inappropriate, but it is not illegal. So those clamoring, I'm reading a lot of articles on this area. It is an argument from a moral perspective. Thank God the National Assembly is currently going on with constitutional amendment. This is the time for them to amend, to include that one of the reasons you can remove a governor is when it defects. For now, this is not the law, and it cannot be done. That was why the court said, in the case of Ejiro versus Idris, that you cannot walk up into the Federal High Court with an originating summons to remove a sitting governor who has taken sworn to oath of allegiance and oath of office. That's what they tried to do with this same case. So the case decided last week in Court of Appeal, Enugu Judicial Division applies on all fours to this case, and by the doctrine of stare decisis, this court is bound by that decision, and that is why I commend the court for inviting parties over to come and address it again.
Thank you very much.